Hey everybody, hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world. This is Mike from Equity Sense, and I want to talk about what Equity Sense is now, what it stands for. Here and now in 2017, we've been around for about 6 or 7 years now, and we've made some changes, but we're still the same as what we were when we first started. So there seems to be a lot of sort of confusion, if you like. I don't really like to use the word, but sort of trying to understand what we really do here at the firm. So we primarily are trade idea generators. Basically, we see the data, we figure out what to do with it, and we share what we're doing. That's basic. We don't advise people what to buy or sell. We tell them we're gonna buy oil here, or we're gonna buy gold, or we're gonna buy Apple here, and people can either accept that or reject it or follow at their own, risk. But overall, that's what we do. So equity sense started out as sort of like an idea to kind of just keep sharing to people what we think the markets are going to do and all that. Eventually, it ballooned to people really interested in kind of getting to see what our trades are and so on and so forth. So at the very core, at the heart of what we do, again, trade ideas. So we cover futures, forex, we cover stocks and options, but that's not going to be that's only until May 2018. After that, we're going to remove all the stock and stock options thoughts. It does not mean that we're going to stop trading them. We just won't be covering them anymore. Just because there's just nothing to cover at this point. I mean, the market itself is basically a zombie market at the end of the day now. So there's not much by way of what's going on there. And of course, we cover important macroeconomic events and data. So if it makes sense, because our belief is data without context is irrelevant and useless to a trader who does not know how to translate that data. What we are is that translator. Basically, we make sense of what's going on in the market. So if somebody tells you, oh, CPI is this and this, what does that really mean to you? Does that really mean you're going to have to go long or short, the currency that the CPI belongs to? Don't know. But that's the thing. That's where we're at. If we get, like, say, the CPI from Australia is X, Y, and Z, we would process it and then make a trade from that, right? So the delivery methods that we provide, we've always had this before. We've had a private Twitter feed. We also send emails every day, day charts and all that stuff, just to kind of, give you guys an idea of what we're thinking, what we're doing. We've added the SMS text alerts in 2017. It has finally come in because it is now cheap and affordable to be able to text everyone in the world. I'm pretty sure those of you who lived before 2010 or who were around before 2010, it was extremely expensive to even text, across the border with anyone, even in Mexico or Canada or wherever. So that's gotten affordable, and now we are able to do that. And you know what? Everybody really loves it. I mean, they love the instant nature of text alerts and the fact that they don't have to rely on having their data plan or their Wi-Fi to be connected to be able to access those trade alerts and all those things that are happening in the market. So those are the core stuff. What are add-ons or extras, right? So we have introduced this live Squawk service. Um, it was introduced like 5 years ago, but as soon as the group that wanted it also left us, we just stopped because again, it wasn't really worth our while. The what the live Squawk service does is we are here for the first hour of the U.S. session, and of course the last half hour of the U.S. sessions. Effectively, everybody knows that those are the busiest and the most volatile hours of the trading day. Everything else just becomes very, very slow. So by being there, by making a commitment to be there, we're able to look at trades, we're able to shout out our trades, call for setups, and all that. So just be there for people, for clients to really see what we're doing, and of course to give them that extra confidence boost, if you like, as to what we're seeing, right? Because clients really love it when we see what they see and vice versa. We also cover the important macroeconomic events and data, so whether it's an FOMC decision or a French election, we'll be around. Stock earnings reports, very important because we do play or gamble during these earnings reports. And the problem there is because the movements are so fast, even our text alerts, which are literally when we place our orders within 1 or 2 seconds, those text or Twitter alerts get out. They're not quick enough. People have been really pining for having a faster service, right? So this is an add-on, so that's not going to be part of your core services. If you want this service, you would one have to pay the extra fee for it. um, it's not meant to be for everybody, because the people who have requested it, that have actually um, convinced me to do this, are the full-time traders who really feel that they can benefit from it, right? For having that guaranteed committed presence at these times, right? We generate trade ideas at any point in the day or night, but by being there, that just gives an extra sort of layer or boost of confidence for them. Another extra is the mentorship. So oftentimes some people do have struggles with their trades, or they want to be able to have somebody to talk to about what they're doing. Being a full-time day trader or being a trader on your own, it's a very lonely job. Nobody will probably admit it, but it's a lonely job. If you don't have friends who are traders, nobody understands what you're doing. You really just, it's just you're on your own. And unless you probably go on Reddit or like some sort of community online forums, you're not gonna have to. You can't communicate or connect with your fellow traders. So I found that the people who go to mentorship are people who are good traders who just need somebody to talk to, bounce ideas off of, ask questions. I mean, for me, I've been trading for more or less 12 years now. So there's some experience there. I'm by no means an expert, but there's some experience there that I can at least kind of leverage on in terms of helping a lot of people uh, with their own trades. So these are the add-ons, and I hope that makes sense. If if these are things that you might need for your thing for your trades. And on the other side, the other half of Equity Sense, there are people who are interested in learning how we trade. We're I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now for the last 12 or 13 years if I was a horrible trader. So there are people who want the cheaper courses, who just want to be there, who don't want to spend too much time and money. We have the quick courses, and we have the full courses for people who want to get it right, who want to get started right, and they want to be developed from the ground up. So that's the other side of equity sense. Yeah, and it comes and goes. Sometimes we form classes right away when somebody just joins in or comes in, and sometimes you get like days and weeks where nobody is even taking a class. So it's all demand driven. The education side is demand driven because a lot of people have mixed feelings about whether or not you want to spend money to learn how to trade, or whether you want to just kind of try to do it on your own, or use a Amazon book, or you read from Amazon to learn how to trade. Okay. Just to expand this live Squawk service because it's extremely new. Okay. So what is this all about? Again, we are going to be there from 9:30 to 10:30 in the morning, so New York time or Eastern time, and in the last half hour of the U.S. session. So that's going to be every day, of course, unless there's unless I'm sick or nobody can fill me, or fill in for me. I mean, or it's a holiday, obviously. So we will give a pre-market game plan. So whether or not you can join the pre-market conference, which is going to be at 9 o'clock Eastern, or we'll be able to send out a video or an audio file for that anyway. And then if we see our trades, of course, we'll be trading futures, forex, stocks, and options. Again, um, past May 2018, we will still be covering, and this is probably where a lot of people were confused. We will still be talking, or we'll still be, I or whoever is going to be taking my place, if ever that day, we'll still be calling out trades that we are in stocks and options, but we will not be calling out setups anymore past May 2018. I hope that makes sense. So what that means is that we will call our own trades. That's not a problem. Whereas from now until May 2018, if we see a setup on, say, Google, we'll say, oh yeah, Google looks like it's interesting, it's getting ready to bounce, or getting lower. We'll still be calling that out. But past May 2018, we won't be covering that anymore. We'll just be sticking to futures and forex. That's the topic. As to why, that's another topic. You can send us an email, and we'll explain to you why we've stopped covering. We've stopped covering stocks and options. During the whole day, we will have it recorded so that if people who are interested to kind of just go over what we called during the day, they'll be able to play that and recap, right? Because some people may not be able to come in, but want to catch up on what happened in the markets. And of course, we'll be covering the important events, meaning, like I said, elections, FOMC decisions, any of this, anything that we deem extremely important, we actually cover, stock earnings and all that. We will be covering that, and we will, of course, we will always give advanced notice, right? So those people who already sign up for the live Squawk service, I mean, you're technically already a trader subscriber already, so you'll have all those text alerts and everything like that. And this is sort of like a guide, not necessarily set in stone. The focus on the live squawk service will be the following securities. Okay, so the indices, oil and gas. In the grains world, it'll be soybeans and then gold. We're not big on bonds, so we don't really cover treasuries or anything like that. It's just we want, because we're there for a quick and short amount of time, we want to cover things that are moving fast and quick rather than like cover something and then not do anything, right? Because the goal is we're day traders, we want to be able to get out quickly within that hour. The idea is we want to get out, in that hour. In the forex world, we're going to be focusing more on the yen crosses, and for obvious reasons. And if you don't know why, because these are the most volatile pairs among the rest. These guys move at least 10 or 20 pips within an hour, which is great for scalping. That's what we want, and that's what we need. Um, and in the stock and options world, we're sticking to the big Momo or momentum names, as you see in front of you. Again, we will only be calling it out until May 2018, and after that, that's it. We'll only be talking about our trades if we ever trade them, but that's it. We won't be sending stuff about them anymore past the May 2018. For the future, though, as would be expected by some people whose suggestions are the following, they want us to cover 30 minutes of European London Open and 30 minutes of the Japan Open. So me being in Asia at the moment, it works pretty well for me to cover, the first hour of US. The London stuff, it all depends. Might have to be Gavin or someone else to cover that, but you have to understand the manpower on this is going to be quite taxing because somebody has to be there physically to be shouting out and talking and all that. And because we are traders first, and then idea generators second, we have to make sure we cover our own stuff first rather than be encumbered by having these things. And this is why the live squawk service is sort of like, it could stay after a year if people are still interested, or it could probably go away again. I mean, it's an additional task that we have to do. We have agreed to do it because enough people have made it worth our while, and that's always been how it is. When there's enough demand, the services come. If there isn't enough demand, obviously nobody will come. So that's basically how it is. I hope it's clear. If those of you who are interested, please, let us know. If you got questions, send us an email. Go to our website at www.equitysense.com. Click the contact button and send us an email. Or we'll be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. If you were to compare our services across everyone else at this point, you won't find anybody who covers a broad spectrum of securities across different asset classes, and let alone with the Squawk service, we are quite affordable. It's actually more affordable than most. You can look at, say, I don't know, Chicago stock trader who charges $400 just to talk about the ES every day. So it's not that great. So yeah. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that clarifies or clears the air with everybody who's been kind of asking about this. If you have any more questions, just contact us. Thank you for your time and have yourselves a wonderful day.